Hello everybody. It's dark and I'm tired, but I'm going to do a quick video because it's all over the media. Caitlyn Jenner. You know what? It's very interesting to see someone in a position of fame struggling to accept the reality of what they actually supported. If you haven't been following the story, Caitlyn Jenner, formerly known as Bruce Jenner, transitioned from male to female in the United States of America. A well-known celebrity in the 70s, was an Olympic, I can't remember if it was a gold medal or just a medal, but a decathlete. The best athlete in the world has traditionally, for the past 200 years, been the winner of the decathlete or the decathlon at the Olympics. So we're talking about somebody that's pretty well known. Then they married into this Kardashian family. Thankfully, I don't pay much attention to that family, but I admire and respect and understand, perhaps, and appreciate Bruce becoming Caitlyn. That did not happen until, how old were they? 55, 60 years old? I'd say 98% of the trans content I'm seeing posted online are from trans-identified people 25 and younger. Believe me, those of us who transitioned at an older age and or are old, life for us is and was very different. Let's get down to the basics of this passport versus birth certificate issue. I think we need to recognize that the birth certificate and the passport have two distinct, separate purposes. A birth certificate is designed to report on the existence of a new human being. The government wants to know that people exist and that they are alive, when they were born, who their parents were, and yes, what is the anatomical sex observed on said baby when they were born. The problem is we've made every other government document rely on what does the passport say? What does the passport say? Or no, birth certificate, really. Other ID documents. What is the purpose of ID? Is to identify someone. And I'm going to argue that what the USA has done for transsexuals, this being people who have legitimately had sex change, surgery on their genital area. Sex is penis, vagina. Gender is man, woman, masculine, feminine. Has nothing to do with it. I hate that they use the word gender on any of these identity markers, because what they're really talking about is sex. What was between your legs when you were born? I understand why that is the way birth certificates are recorded. Passports are a little different. Passports don't and shouldn't care about what was between your legs the year you were born. Passport is an identifying document to accurately identify you in the present day as you travel. And if you had sex reassignment surgery 10, 15, 20 years ago, and your parts have completely changed, I think the passport should reflect your current status. Because when you go through these borders, airport scanners, not just the metal detectors, but have you ever gone into those big, what do you call them, revolving door thingies? They scan it all. I know, because I've been there. Those scanners can see through your clothing, and they can tell whether you have a penis or a vagina. And if you present them a passport that says one, and the scan shows that you have something different, then there's going to be a whole problem of identity question. I was held up at a U.S. border back in 2011. Interestingly enough, I had had the full surgery. The good news is Up here in Canada, we let you change those documents. If you have sex reassignment surgery, you can change your passport to what reflects your current identity. But I didn't have my new passport yet. So I was held up at the border for 5 hours and I missed my flight. Caitlyn Jenner, I believe, has come out publicly that they have had sex reassignment surgery. So maybe Jenner was born with a penis way back in 1946 or however long ago that was. But in 2026, if Caitlyn Jenner presents to an airport with a vagina, I think the travel documentation should equally reflect that. Somebody's trans history does not matter in terms of identifying someone to travel into another country. And again, Canada did agree to change my birth certificate, which is interesting because I admit I was born male. I had sex reassignment surgery. I now have female parts. And I don't want to get into the sports conversation. Well, chromosomes and what do you call those other ones? X, Y, Y, Z. I don't know a damn thing about chromosomes. But again, nobody at a border is going to care what chromosomes you have in order to let you onto an airplane. So that is just plain stupid. So yeah, that's what this is really all about. A birth certificate's a birth certificate. It's who you are when you were born. I get why people want it changed. I get that it can unfairly out someone as trans. If I present it with a male birth certificate and a female passport, people are going to know I'm trans. Unfortunately, knowing that somebody's trans is the problem. There's discrimination out there. I hope I live to see the day where it doesn't matter anymore. We don't discriminate against trans people. And all those other documents, driver's license, health cards. Do you guys have health insurance in the U.S.? I don't know how that works. We have a so-called government healthcare system up here, but it's not the greatest. It's kind of no frills. There's a lot of stuff that's not covered. But bottom line, and again, this isn't about Caitlyn. This is about the thousands of trans people in the United States who now have passport documents that do not actually match their anatomy. Is that the right word? Anatomy. I get that people are questioning how a lot of the trans community has grown, and you got people saying they're trans when they have not actually transitioned, and pretend they're trans to achieve some sort of advantage in life. I get and understand why that could piss someone off, but again, we're talking about identification. Identifying people, identifying maybe a body. Let's say a plane crashes and you've got a body with certain parts. And if you're trying to identify remains, yeah, you kind of, hopefully you understand this. There's really no reason. I don't want to go too long on this video. Bathroom's another thing. It really shouldn't matter what parts you have or were born with. I will say this. When you no longer have a penis, it is very difficult to pee into a urinal while standing. And if this is the idea that the U.S. is trying to push on trans women, I think it's stupid. Anyway, enough of that. But yeah, the USA, in my opinion, is wrong to link sex on passports to birth certificates, because things can change, and they do change. Trying to pretend that trans people don't exist will not make us go away. And believe me, as long as I'm here, I'm going to keep reminding y'all of that. Have a great night, everyone.